deep, way down the left side, way downfield, and it's caught for a touchdown! Touchdown! A bomb catch! What a catch!
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you give this video maybe a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean the world to me. But just at least anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you. So now we got week 5. All right, a little preview here. Giants at the Cowboys. Even Patrick Graham, like in his press conference, he said, like, you know, this Giants and the Cowboys week is a little something special, a little something extra, you know, than you know, maybe against the Washington football team or even against the Eagles. You know, Patrick Graham said in his press conference, said he's been getting like text messages from like former Giants and all and everything. You know, say, hey, you know, remind them this is Cowboy week. You know, it's a little different breed of animal. All right, it's very, you know, very important. Okay, it's not even, you know, it's, you know, pride and all that and everything. It's a different animal. Okay. Now, you know, it's going to be somewhat similar to the way it was last week. Obviously, the Giants on the road, hostile territory, loud, crazy fans. The Cowboy fans are going to be crazy. The Giants will be representing there, but I mean, the holds a lot of people. Cowboy Stadium is going to be loud, just like in New Orleans. Now, what the Giants did last week, okay, obviously they won the game, but they didn't try or attempt to lose the game, meaning even as loud as it was, they only had 3 penalties for like 25 yards. They didn't have like 5 false starts or anything like that. They didn't have any sacks. Daniel Jones had the one Hail Mary interception, but he didn't throw any other interceptions or pick sixes or anything that get the crowd up in a frenzy. You know, the Giants are going to have to do the same thing again this week. And it's not going to be easy to duplicate, like, basically no turnovers, no sacks, and no penalties on the road, basically 2 weeks in a row. Wow. That's pretty much what the Giants are going to wind up having to do. Now, last week, I was against the Saints. The Saints, their defense is a little bit better than the Cowboys. Okay? But the Cowboys' offense is definitely better than the Saints' offense. All right, now you got to start, obviously, with the Cowboys. You got to start with Dak, okay? Dak is back. Looking good. All right, looks like he hasn't even missed a beat, really. He's completing 75% of his passes. Unbelievable. I mean, that's bad enough. But the real problem is the Giants are allowing 75% completion when their defense is on the field. And that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. The Giants have done a decent job. Not an unbelievably outstanding job, but a decent job. At least when the passes are being completed, you know, the Giants are having them being completed in front of them. You know, complete them, maybe they come and wrap up, make the tackle. They're not getting burned on a whole well of a lot of passes. Last week, Bradbury got burnt on a long one. You know, the Washington football team, they had that drive. The Giants were up 26-20. Washington football team, Taylor Heineke took them 2 plays, went like 60, 65 yards, whatever it was, got a touchdown, put them up 27-26, you know. But I mean, for the most part, the amount of passes the Giants are allowing to be completed on defense is pretty staggering. But I mean, at least they're doing a decent job. But you know, for the most part, you know, controlling the damage. Okay, now Dak is, you know, Dan Jones got 4 touchdown passes. Dak already has 10. Okay, he has 2 interceptions. Okay, his quarterback rate is 116.9. I mean, he's doing really good. Now, a lot of it is, you know, it's just not him. Their offensive line is really doing good. Their running game this year is really doing good. And, of course, then they got the weapons. Gallup's not there, okay? But the other weapons they got are you know, very good. You know, so it's you know, it's just not Dak. It's Dak, it's the line, it's the wide receivers, it's even the Schultz, the tight end, it's Pollard, it's Zeke. You know, I mean, it's the whole offense. You know, Zeke leads, their team with 342 yards rushing. He's averaging 5.3 yards a carry. Very impressive. However, Tony Pollard, okay, he's run the ball 37 times with 250 yards. He's averaging 6.8 yards per carry. Almost 7 yards a carry every time he touches the ball. Now, it's Zeke pretty much is like, tackle to tackle. All right, Pollard can go up the middle, but he likes sneaking on the outside. Okay, so that's a nice 1-2 punch they got there. And both guys can catch the ball as well, too. So it's like just because they're in the game doesn't mean, oh, they're going to run the ball. No, nope. They might pass the ball as well, too, okay? They got, so far after 4 games, they got 3 guys that are on pace for over at least 80 receptions. 2 of them are on pace for over 1,000 yards, and the other one, Schultz, is on pace for 800. They got ABCD Lamb. He has 20 receptions so far after 4 games. He has 264 yards. I think he has 1 touchdown. So he's on pace for over 1,000 yards receiving. He's on pace for 80 receptions. Amari Cooper has 22 receptions. He's on pace for 88 receptions. He has 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's on pace for over 1,000 yards receiving. Okay, then you got Dalton Schultz. Okay, they're tight end. The guy just seems, every time Dak drops back to pass and throws the ball to him, it's like, yeah, he's wide open. It's amazing. I've seen a couple of his touchdown passes, and he like catches the ball, turns around, I'm like, where's the defense at? It's like I guess they're paying so much attention, maybe like to Wilson and ABCD Lamb and Amari Cooper and all. I guess they forget about him. I don't know, but he has 20 catches for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns. So anyway, he's on pace for 80 receptions, 800 yards, and he actually is this way. He's on pace for 12 touchdown receptions. Okay, and so is Amari Cooper. He's on pace for 12 as well. All right, but right now you got 3 guys that are on pace for 80 receptions. All right, but that's that's just part of the game. Okay, the third down conversions, they're converting 50% conversions. They're 24 out of 48. So just because it's third down, they're staying on the field. They're converting their third downs, and that's another thing the Giants have a hard time doing, getting off the field on third down and getting off the field on fourth down. They're having a very, very hard time doing that. In week 1, okay, against Tampa Bay, they ran the ball 19 times. Okay, they had 60 yards. That week, Dak, they had a hard time running the ball against. A lot of teams have a hard time running the ball against the Bucs. Okay, but Dak that week, he threw the ball almost 60 times. He was 42 out of 58. Okay, 403 yards and 3 touchdowns. Okay, so he threw the ball well a lot, but they only got 60 yards rushing. All right, but all the other weeks, okay, they ran the ball 19 times. The other 3 weeks, they ran the ball at least 31 times every game. The last 3 weeks, that's tough on the defense. Very, very tough on the defense. And last week, just to go to show you, the first week Dak threw the ball 58 times. Last week against Carolina, okay, he threw the ball only 22 times. He had 188 yards. He completed 14 passes, 4 of them went for touchdowns. Right? But they can do. They lost the first game of the season, okay, against Tampa Bay. All right, but he threw the ball 58 times. Right? So they can throw the ball, or they can run the ball. The Giants, we've seen, if Daniel Jones get protection, if he can get his wide receivers on the field, we can throw the ball. We have a hard time running the ball, right? But that's not the case with Dallas, all right? They can do either or. It's almost kind of like pick your poison. Giants defense can have a very, very difficult time. On their defense, you got Trevon Diggs. The guy has 5 interceptions, right? I think he has more interceptions than every team, I think I read, except for 2. The whole team. There's only 2 teams out there that have more interceptions combined than he does. He has 5. It's unbelievable. Micah Parsons leads the team with 2.5 sacks. Dude's going to be a stud for a long time to come. All right, their defense, all right, is +7 in the turnover differential. Okay, they already have 10 turnovers in 4 games. They have 8 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries. All right, 10 turnovers. Giants only have 4. Imagine if the Giants had another 6 turnovers. Take those 6 turnovers and sprinkle them out through those other 4 games. You think the Giants would have won maybe another football game, or maybe 2? Quite possibly. The Cowboys have at least 2 turnovers every. They had 4 the first game against Tampa Bay, and that's the only way to really, for the most part, the Cowboys were really in the game, was because they had all those turnovers at 4. But every other game they had at least 2 turnovers. And the first game of the season, the reason why they were in the game was because they got 4 turnovers. The second game of the season, okay, they played the Chargers in Los Angeles. All right, they won on a last-second field goal. I believe it was 20-17. Justin Herbert threw 2 interceptions. Of course, one went to Trevon Diggs. All right, he jumped the route. All right, he jumped in front. It was like maybe it was a crossing route. He jumped in front, picked it off. Beautiful interception. The Chargers were in field goal range. You throw the ball into the ground or something or whatever, maybe you kick a field goal, maybe the Chargers get 3 more points. Now it's maybe 20-20. Later on in the game, third or fourth quarter, I forgot what it was, the Chargers down around the Cowboys' 9-yard line. Field goal. Definitely. He throws an interception in the end zone. Wasn't the Trevon Diggs, but he throws an interception in the end zone. Wipes off another 3 points. So those 2 interceptions right there cost the Chargers possibly 6 points, if not more. And that was the difference in the game. Without those 2 interceptions, the Cowboys probably lose that game. Now the Cowboys are 0-2. Cowboys whooped up on the Eagles, so that's, I was happy to see that because I can't stand the Eagles. But then you got last week against Carolina. All right, the Cowboys won 36-28. Okay, Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions. One of them gets picked off, and 4 plays later, picked off, run back, and like 4 plays, they go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th play they kick a field goal. Because after it gets picked off, they run it back in the field. Trevon Diggs runs it back into field goal range. Okay, so that's 3 points. So you take those 3 points off of the Cowboys. Now it's 33-28. Okay. Then Sam Darnold throws another interception to Trevon Diggs. Picks it off, runs it back into Carolina territory. 3 plays later, Dak throws a touchdown pass. There's another 7 points. Take those 7 points off the board. Carolina has 28, Cowboys have 26. Now I know it probably wouldn't have worked out like that, but you can see what I'm saying with these turnovers. They cost Carolina 10 points last week. Carolina lost by 8. All right, the 2 turnovers against the Chargers cost the Chargers at least 6 points that they could have put on the board, if not more. Okay, they lost by 3 points. So the Cowboys certainly could be 3-1, which they are, because they're playing very well. But I mean, they certainly, without those turnovers, okay, have could have a couple more losses on their record with the turnovers or without the turnovers. Right? Now with their injury report, okay, I just saw something from on the NFL Network that's saying that Zeke and Amari Cooper, okay, they've been dinged up, they've been limited in practice and all that, but they are going to be participating today. Zeke's got a problem with his knee, and Amari Cooper has got a problem with his hamstring. All right, so even though it would be a lot to keep those guys out of the game. I mean, I'd have a hard time believing they wouldn't be playing in the game. But just to know that Amari Cooper has a little problem with his hamstring. Hamstring's one thing, with a wide receiver. I mean, if he has a problem with his wrist or his elbow or something like that, okay, maybe he won't be able to catch, all the balls or whatever. But if he has a problem with his hamstring, it's going to be difficult running the routes as good as you can. Okay, then we got Zeke, got a problem with his knee. He'll be playing, but that'll certainly hamper him. Okay, the only guy that's out for them that I saw was Dorrance Armstrong, a defensive end. He's got a problem with his ankle, and he's out. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, I wish the Giants had that problem. as I said, the guys who were questionable, okay, it was Amari Cooper and Zeke. They'll definitely be playing. All right, but then we got Randy Gregory has a knee. Okay, some Ty Nsekhe, all right, he has some type of illness. I'm not sure what it is. Or I think Carlos Watkins, he has a problem with his knee. So those guys are still a little bit questionable. But as far as I know, Amari Cooper and Zeke, they'll be playing. All right, so. And then we go to the Giants. Okay. The Giants, we go with their injuries. All right, they got like 4 guys that are out. As far as I saw, Ben Bredeson's out. Jabrill Peppers. Bredeson's out with problem with his hand. All right, then you got Peppers, you got Sterling Shepard, you got Darius Slayton. Hamstrings. Giants in their hamstrings, right? Then you got, Andrew Thomas is questionable. Okay, he's got a problem with his foot. So then, if he can't play, you might have to take Solder from right tackle, slide him over to left tackle, and put Matt Parrott in there, right tackle. It'd be nice to see Matt Parrott in there, see him get some reps if Andrew Thomas can't go. Now it's one of those things. Maybe you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. You put him in for the one game, but is going to make his injury worse? So now he might have to be out 2 or 3 weeks. Or if you just sit him for this one game, he might be good going forward. It's a tough call to make. Giants also, I saw a report, Jonathan Harrison. He's got he hurt his Achilles. All right, so not exactly sure if if he tore his Achilles, the tendon or what it is, if he's out for the season or not. But I just saw that he hurt his Achilles. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, wait and see. But because of that, so they got tackle Corey Cunningham. They got him up from the practice squad, all right, the tackle. All right, so injuries just keep on rolling in. All right, now to keep the Cowboys offense, all right, at bay, it's going to be tough. All right, the Giants obviously only have 6 sacks. They need to get pressure on Dak. All right, they're 29th in the league. Okay, they only get sacks on 4.17%. Okay, of their passes. All right, when they rush the quarterback, they only get sacks on 4.17% of the time, which is 29th in the league. Absolutely horrible. I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about, like, online, like, asking questions of, like, why don't the Giants just, like, blitz? Just send guys, Well, apparently, from what I saw, they blitz 29.7% of the time. And there's only 8 teams in the NFL which have blitzed, actually, more. So the Giants do blitz, just that they're not getting home. I mean, a lot of times, like, you might see Jabrill Peppers in there blitzing, and he might get some pressure, or he might get a hit or something. He's just not getting a sack. When they do send pressure, they're just not getting home, okay? They're 20th in the league in sacks with 6, okay? So they're on pace, for like 25 sacks this season. They had 40 last year. I mean, we have the X-Man's back, Carter's back, we added Azeez Ojulari, it's like, and we're worse than we were last year. Not even close. We're like way worse than we were last year. They're 29th in the pressure percentage by 19.4. They're 30th in the league in quarterback knockdown percentage at 5.6%. They're 14th in hurry percentage with 10.3%. Okay, and ESPN has them as the 31st in the league at pass rush rate. All right. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. The defense only has 4 turnovers. They only have 2 interceptions from James Bradbury, okay? So basically they're on pace for like about 8.5 interceptions for this whole season, which is really pathetic, especially with all the money we spent on all the free agents and all those draft picks we have and everything like that. Only have 8.5 interceptions. We're on pace for 8.5. Pretty pathetic, okay? And obviously, as I mentioned before, we're giving up 75% completion percentage. not good. Now, it doesn't, a lot of this doesn't gel at all good for the Giants because the Cowboys can run. The Giants have had a hard time stopping the run. Dak can pass. The Giants have had a hard time stopping the pass. All right, Dak's standing in the pocket, looking around or whatever. Like the Giants have a hard time getting pressure. So exactly what they can wind up doing to slow them down. Now, when the Giants obviously last week did very, very well on offense. Some of the problem that they're going to have, okay, is their running game. It's not it's not super spectacular, shall we say. Daniel Jones leads the team with 188 rushing yards. Okay, he basically has about half the Giants' rushing yards. So when your quarterback has half your rushing yards, like Jalen Hurts does, like with the Eagles, he has about half their rushing yards. That's not really that good. Okay. Our big running back, Saquon Barkley, okay, has 52 rushes for 186 yards. But he has one carry of 41 yards, all right? So take that one 41-yard carry off. He has 51 carries for 145 yards. He's averaging 2.8 yards per carry. He's averaging 2.8. Zeke's averaging 5.3. And Tony Pollard's averaging 6.8. Not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. Daniel Jones does lead the NFL with 7.0 yards per carry. So, so maybe they can get a little more of that RPO in there, or maybe Daniel Jones might try to use his legs. Okay, because if you get him in some space, obviously we see the man's got some speed to him. So I'm sure Micah Parsons will be able to run him down, but maybe we might have to try to do some of that this week. Now we're not going to have Sterling Shepard in there, and we're not going to have Darius Slayton in there. But if you got Kadarius Toney, all right, you got John Ross, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Kenny Golladay, okay, you got Kyle Rudolph. I mean, you still got some weapons, and then you even have Evan Ingram in there too. The thing is, I'm kind of scratching my head about with Evan Ingram. Okay, is he has he played 2 games. He has 7 receptions. Okay, for 48 yards. He's averaging 6.9 yards per catch. I mean, are you serious? The guy's like, the guy drops a lot of passes, and he fumbled away a ball this year too, on one of his 7 receptions. But anyway, the guy's a mismatch. Why? He's averaging 7 yards a catch. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But the Giants are going to have a very hard time. Defense are going to have a hard time stopping them. I can't see the Cowboys scoring under 30 points. I mean, the only way, and I hate saying it like this, I mean, a couple of the Cowboys are going to have to get hurt. There's going to have to be maybe a couple turnovers, 2-3 turnovers go the Giants' way, maybe a missed field goal or something like that. The Giants are going to have a few things have to go their way this week, and they can't beat themselves. They can't have those sacks. They can't have the interception. He's got to watch out for Trevon Diggs. He's got to watch out for the opportunistic defense that the Cowboys have. You can't turn the ball over, and you can't get those silly penalties that just kill you. Okay. Now, one thing they do have, which that I've kind of been reading articles of, is Troy Big Mouth Aikman. All right, he went online on like a radio show or something like that, and he kind of yapping his mouth a little bit, and it kind of got back to some of the Giants. Something Aikman said that the Giants don't like. He said the amount of pressure that the Cowboys offense puts on an opponent, because they're so explosive, that there's a lot of pressure for an opposing offense to feel that they have to go out and do something every time that they have the ball. Okay, and if they don't, they're going to be down a couple of scores, because the Cowboys offense is so good. They put so much pressure on the opposing team's offense that every time Daniel Jones goes out there, he feels like he has to score, because the Cowboys offense is just phenomenal. He says Troy Aikman says, that's going to be a challenge for the Giants. They're coming off a big win. But they're, in my opinion, and I understand in the NFL, anybody can beat anybody and all of that. I get that, he says. But the Giants, they're just not in Dallas's class, in my opinion. So that got to be, he's opening his mouth up. Apparently got word around the Giants locker room. I don't know if they have anything hanging up or anything like that in their lockers or nothing like that. But I know it fired some of the Giants up. Now we'll have to wait and see, if the Giants can go in there and shut up the Cowboys, and make Troy Aikman look like a jackass, like he really is, because you don't like stuff like that being said about you, And if you can go out there and shut two teams up, then I'll start getting kind of excited. I'm right now. We're 1-3. We lost the first 3. We played a couple uninspired games. We went on the road. We beat New Orleans. It was kind of like last year when we beat Seattle. Okay, that was a big one. Okay, I thought it was just going to turn us around. We were just going to go on a big run after that. No, we didn't. We went on the road. We're 0-3. We had to win. We beat New Orleans in New Orleans. That was a big win. So we're going to turn our season around, and we're going to come home, practice a little bit, go back out on the road, play the Cowboys, beat the Cowboys in Dallas, and get 2-3, and maybe turn the season around. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'll tell you what, if the Giants do go on the road and beat the Cowboys today, I think we all should sign a thank you card to Troy Big Mouth Aikman. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!